Everyone's seen this.
No, there's a Pope on the road again.
So, what was that? Like 15 seconds? 20 seconds? Wow. Okay, there's a lot packed into that. And the reason that brings the laugh, that's a pinprick in the balloon. Welcome back to Why Is That Funny? I'm Cal Hoffman, and I once ate an entire elephant one bite at a time. So far, we've done a lot of long-form improv where stuff has had room to breathe and play games of the scene over a couple of minutes at a time. We're going to do something totally different here that I think is going to give us a chance to really get into the mechanics of why things make you laugh physically. This is blind pairs. Let's do it. So they have 30 seconds per scene, maximum. Two people.
I'm too tired to go out. I'm too tired.
We are going out. I have been raising this baby by myself for months. This baby is 8 months old.
Fine, I'm ready.
Oh my God!
Ow! Oh!
I thought we took that down after Christmas. You've kept that on this whole time?
Is that
How
me?
could I take it off?
This is you.
Okay, great start. This is why we laugh. So you've heard me talk a lot in videos in the past about the balloon theory. So again, credit to my improv coach, Luke Healy. If you think of adding in normal, grounded stuff, firstly, to a scene, like just where we are, what we're doing, that starts inflating this little balloon that we have, blows it up. And then as you start adding unusual things, points of contrast, that inflates that balloon further so that it's full of tension that needs an outlet. And what are the two ways to let air out of a balloon? You pop it and it explodes, or you let it go and it goes flying off in all directions. Or I guess you can like slowly release it through the thing, but that's going to make a funny sound too. So all of this from the very start. Now, the two players don't know, I think is the idea here, what the other is going to dress as. So we already have a point of contrast, something that's unusual that we've noticed as an audience in the fact that they've come out wearing the same thing or basically the same archetype of character dress-wise. So that's already a point of tension for us as an audience. But you want to talk about tension? Notice Amanda, right? Yeah, in the chair, her cheeks are literally full of water. Like, the rule is try not to laugh. That by default is a point of tension. If you're ever in any situation, have you ever been in like a really inappropriate moment to laugh and you can't help it? That's why. It's because it's tension and contrast. It makes it hard not to. So that's physical. And even if we're not there feeling it, the person in the hot seat there is the proxy for the audience. It makes it easier for us to laugh because like much more than if they just came out and did exactly the same thing. I don't think it would be nearly as funny because we're feeling through what the hot seat person is feeling. Comedy is a type of communication. Or even if the person isn't in the room with us, our bodies are stupid, right? So we have the physical tension. We have the contrast of these two. We have dramatic stakes.
I'm too tired to go out.
Which is a great start.
Tired.
We are going out.
That person made a great start of just like, oh, I'm too tired to go out. So that's a reason for us to care because they care about something. They have a motivation which is to stay in and they have emotions about it. Even if it's like a silly thing, it's a silly type of caring, it's still important for us to care about something. To again, fill that balloon, bring things towards breaking point. Shayne has added to it. And then the reason that I think it's not exactly like any particular jokey line that makes Amanda laugh, it is just this.
I have been raising this baby by myself for months.
Yeah. No, I think that is because, so if you're not popping the balloon with like a pin or something, the other way of doing it is just overinflating until it can't contain anymore. And that's what's happened here. And the reason that specifically for her, I think, is I believe her training, or a lot of it is Groundlings based. And Groundlings is a school in the States that focuses really heavily on characters. Like, what does a person move like? How do they talk? What do they look like? Are their like core beliefs? How do they present? Like the kind of stuff that you'll see on like as a side character coming in on like a weekend update on SNL, or like that has repeated sketches that'll come back over the years because they're so memorable. It's that kind of stuff. So I think that's her jam, and Shayne just really committing to how this person talks and what they believe in and the move. Like everything is very embodied. It is very specific that he's doing. I think that's just her jam, and it's pushed it over the edge. It's not a pin pop, which I'm sure we'll get to, and I'll explain what that is. It's just an overinflation. You can only contain so much of that tension before it has to be released. Moving on. Oh, I know that.
Please don't hit me. I'm on my way to work.
Everyone's seen this.
No, there's a pope on the road again.
I got a cross, buddy. I didn't do anything.
So what was that? Like 15 seconds? 20 seconds? Wow. Okay, there's a lot packed into that. Okay, so I skipped over a scene. I'm doing the seek thing down here to find the points that other people have loved so that we can really figure out why things have connected with audiences and the rewinding, right? So I've skipped over a scene, but in that scene, again, we had two people that are like dressed in the same kind of world of character, which again, is funny in itself because it's a contrast from what the show's supposed to be doing. But now that we get to a scene that does what the show's supposed to be doing, that is a contrast from what just happened. So it's back to extra funny. We have two totally opposite, or like completely unrelated at least, archetypes of character. We've got business suit person with steering wheel like on the road and the funny wig is building a little bit of like comedic tension as well. It's another thing to notice. And they're very sedate. Angela's being very sedate. And then Courtney coming in, moving like crazy, dressed in a bright red robe.
Please don't hit me. I'm on my way to work.
Immediate dramatic stakes from both of them, delivered in completely opposite ways. Angela's, oh no, and please don't hit me, going crazy. Again, something to care about for both of them. And it doesn't matter how it's delivered, what the emotion is. They're extremely different emotions, frantic and, I don't know, despairing. But they give stakes. They give a reason for us to be like, what's gonna happen? And then Courtney reaching for a recorder is another surreal thing to notice, to build up. And again, these build-ups, these surreal things that we notice them because they're contrast from the grounding. Even if the whole thing is surreal, like the fact that driver cares about a pope in the road it's grounded. Like that is believable for that person. Like, yeah, it makes sense that if you're driving and someone is like in the road like that, dressed like whatever, then you're going to care about that in that kind of way. That makes sense. So that makes it quite realistic.
Oh no, there's a pope on the road again.
And the reason that brings the laugh, I said in the last scene, we'll probably get to it. Here, we got to it. That's a pinprick in the balloon. So the balloon has been inflated with dramatic stakes, unusual dress, contrast between the two of them. And, it's begging for release. And what is probably the biggest thing that we've noticed? The fact that a driver is somehow encountering this frantic monk-looking dressed person. So what is the fastest way of releasing that unusual thing? Naming it, giving it a name, saying to the audience, yeah, you've noticed that? You know what? I've noticed it as well. And it makes us laugh. Comedy is a form of communication. We laugh to show recognition to one another that we're on the same page. It's brilliant.
Nurses, go ahead. Thank you for your service. What a guy.
This is so simple. God, these are so short and we get so much in them. I love doing this because you get to see, like, you're just watching this passively. Yeah, it'll wash over you and look, it's funny. I love comedy, but it blows my mind sometimes, and I'm sure it would for even the people that are doing this. If they were to like watch it back and analyze what actually happened there, it blows my mind how much is packed into such short time frames. It will almost certainly not be particularly conscious on the part of the players here, but it's in our training, it's in our reflexes. We're not thinking about the choices that we're making, but we're making strategic choices because we've drilled that kind of thing over and over. But there's so many points layering in to how a build-up and release gets made. So, we have strong character choices up front. The costuming in the conceit of this show helps a lot, okay? So we've got wigs. When you put one on, that helps you embody something different. It helps you get just a sense kind of in your bones of what this person that you're being feels like. Amanda is, again, the groundlings is showing through here. Covered in stuff. We got a helmet. We got a crazy wig. We got the slow sign. So with that and the vest, it's very clear that this is like a crossing guard kind of person. The hammering of the bell is crazy, frankly. So all of those individual things are tension points, like things that we notice and we want to be like, I can see that, and I can see that, and I can see that. Shayne is physically embodying a lot of attitude in a thing. And both of these are like, okay, the way that they look is a little bit bizarre, a little bit surreal, but they're both, I would say, pretty realistic archetypes. Like they're the types of people that you could encounter. The character concepts themselves are not inherently comedic, right? We recognize them. But the contrast is that we don't expect to see these two interact. So there's a tension building up of how are they going to interact?
Nurses, go ahead.
Amanda laughed partway through her own line there.
Nurses, go ahead.
And do you know why I think that is? I think it's because she's realized halfway through what she's saying that the type of move that she's making. So in longer scenes, I would still call this long form improv. It's not short form improv where we've got like a specific game that we're going to play. Like we're going to make sound effects for a thing, or we're going to like speak one word at a time, or pull out lines from our pocket to read or whatever. This is very like it's micro, it's nano, but it's still long form improv. We're still figuring out why it's funny. But in long form improv, all of the training that we're given is to make moves that develop the relationship between the characters, the motivation, opinions. What she said there, she pulled from the top of her mind. Like that is what we all do. We're ideally never thinking about what we're going to say next. We're going kind of off instinct. But what she's pulled up top of mind, it's been like, go ahead, you can cross. It's kind of surreal, which might also be, I might be totally off base. She might just be laughing because like saying nurses go ahead is kind of like a ridiculous concept, like what other people can't cross, but we're making a crossing for nurses. Who knows? But what she said there is not necessarily, it becomes like a core character concept for her because her training again is so strong in developing characters, but it's something that forces the scene to move forward. What I mean by that is you'll very often see in improv people talking about like, oh, the pool is here, I should dive in the pool, or I need to like, we're in the skydiving plane, we're going to jump out. They'll talk about it and do a scene around it and all this stuff, and the audience is a bit like, just jump in the pool, you know? And it never happens because they're so focused, like overly focused on just developing the character and the relationship. And if you're following the fun, if you've mentioned a pool, that becomes Chekhov's pool. It has to get shot. So you have to jump in it. That moves the scene forward. But it makes things unpredictable. And she's both not developed a character relationship, it seems, but it then does turn out that way. And she's forced something unpredictable and bizarre. Like, before they've got any of the laugh or anything, she's kind of put Shayne in a position of being forced to cross.
Thank you for your service. What a guy.
That's crazy.
And what this becomes is reference comedy and exaggeration comedy. There's so much commitment there. So there's reference, right? We all remember COVID. We all remember the times when nurses were understandably and rightfully being celebrated and applauded. And we've got the bell standing in for an applause there. And so this is something we recognize. And so much comedy lives on just recognition. Like, how many comedians are there out there that have entire world famous sets and specials that are just based on, like, do you remember that thing? You remember this thing? Isn't it funny that men have stuff in their drawers? You know, like, it could be just that. But it becomes an exaggeration of that as well through the commitment. Shayne goes all the way out the door. Amanda is saying, like, what a great guy, what a guy, and Shayne, like, salutes, I think. And that becomes analogous to, like, people in service, like armed forces kind of thing. So it is all of this recognition, this mapping, this analogy. It's analogous comedy. It's a whole bunch of stuff in a literal 2-line scene. That is so many points of contrast to build that tension, and then frames, filters, funny filters for why a thing should be funny. It's great. That was packed, and it was like 10 seconds.
Well. Another one comes to pay tribute to the great Kermit.
That's great.
Pay no attention to my host.
I'm sorry, I got the vibes of this church all wrong.
I think Angela's laugh was probably similar to mine in motivation. Now, I think what that guy did was great. It's perfect for this type of framework. Again, still long form improv, but that is a laugh, the type of laugh that you'll get constantly in short form improv. So let's get into it a little bit. We have so much being set up. Such an expectation of where this is going.
Well. Another one comes to pay tribute to the great Kermit.
Commitment to character.
Pay no attention to my host.
To my host. So, such a massive, unusual specific of what's going on with this guy. We've got this, like, parasitic Kermit priest. Crazy. Also, reappearance of the robe. Nice. So all of these things, plus the, like, again, contrasting character dress between the two of them, all funny stuff, all points of tension building up in us. The response...
I'm sorry, I got the vibes of this church all wrong.
No, I don't mean this as an insult, because, again, it is perfect for this kind of micro nano comedy. That's what I would call a cheap laugh. Again, good thing. It's what we need here. But if you do that in a 2-minute, 3-minute scene, if someone has come out with that initiation with all of this strong stuff, is building an expectation of the direction that this is going, because there's so much that needs addressed. What, parasitic Kermit, come on. To say something like, I didn't realize this is what this church is about, kind of throws all of that away. Like, we expect there's certain things, like, we can't predict necessarily what's going to happen in a scene, but we expect that the person responding is going to either, like, be freaked out and scared, or be kind of expecting that in some way, or at least, like, realize that this is something that is possible to exist and has a kind of way of navigating around that. And either way, they'll care. You care about what the crazy thing is that the audience cares about. What he cares about is, oh, I thought this was going to be something different. That's funny because it's a contrast. It's a massive contrast. The contrast is from where the scene would have been playable, like something that has all this established rhythm to then explore, to something that is a total non sequitur. So it stands out. It slaps you across the face with how in your face this is. So that's why I call it a cheap laugh, because it's not like nuanced in, like, you know, character or whatever, and it makes you laugh. And also, if you're an improviser and you know the rules of improv, then it gives you that kind of laugh as well, which I think we saw a little bit in Angela's. And yeah, it's just unexpected and funny. We'll see that all the time in short form improv where we know we're going to get the next like sound effect, or we're going to get told to change into a new genre in a split second or whatever. So we are resetting constantly. That kind of reset in long form improv that's any longer than what they're doing here would be tough to navigate. Right there, perfect.
Stop. What?
Dimitri. What I love most about you is that you're unpredictable.
Woof. Oh my god, sweating. There's two big things that I want to talk about in that. Again, just to check off the list, we have contrast out the gate of opposing or unrelated character types. We have contrast in how bizarre Courtney, their outfit is. And we have grounding. We have Shayne's character carrying flowers. So there's clearly something that they care about. There's some kind of permanence, some kind of reality to this world. We have dramatic stakes because Courtney notices the flowers and reaches out in kind of like a romantic sort of gesture. So all of that in a split second has built this huge amount of pressure. But did I mention comedy is communication? Watch the eye contact. Damien now is on the very edge. Why? The reason that we laugh is to show one another that we're on the same page, right? We covered that. We can't laugh physically if we can force it, or we might get like a subdued version of it. But if we're in like a fight or flight state, if we're tense, if we're stressed, if we're angry, if we're a threat to someone or they're potentially a threat to us, we don't laugh. So laughter is this inbuilt physiological response to say to the people around us, hey, we are on the same page. I'm not a threat to you. I don't perceive you as a threat. So let's stay relaxed. You've noticed this stuff. I've noticed it too. So yeah, they're building up laughter. Like Shayne clearly when he saw Courtney started feeling the need to laugh. Damien felt it as well. They've built that up separately, but it's building because we want to communicate to the humans around us about what we've noticed. When you get into someone's personal space, like this is what clowns do, right? Clowning, and you know, sometimes stand-up comedians as well, but clowning as a comedy art form is really about like audience interaction and pushing that relationship with the audience, that communication together. When you're physically in someone's space, the electricity between the two of you, the like need, the urge, the desire to communicate, it's so hard to get in someone's space without acknowledging it in some way, whatever the form of communication is. When you make eye contact with someone, you are making the most intimate, most direct type of communication. So if what your psyche, your body is trying to communicate is, I'm laughing, we're having a good time, we're safe, it's going to come pouring out. So it's ready, that balloon is ready to get burst, either by pointing out something that's been noticed, which is the pinprick explosion, or by the overinflation. And I think we get a mixture of both.
Dimitri.
It's both, and it pushed them over the edge because we have the pinprick of pointing out, hey, did you notice I'm dressed like the Matrix? Even if it was unconscious, we noticed that they're dressed like the Matrix. And the just unexpected, surreal and extreme kind of exaggeration of character and of its kind of madcap, this big movement. All of that together pushes it simultaneously overinflates the balloon and takes a pin to it at the same time. I said communication was one out of two things that I wanted to talk about. The other one is game of the scene. I didn't think we were going to get to cover this in this kind of format, but we got this one move. We have this building up of tension. We have this unusual thing that's happened. We have the framing of it, which is pointing out the unusual thing. Shayne hasn't done that in words. He's reacted by going, oh, so he's being the audience proxy for like, the character has noticed this thing. We're noticing it. We're all noticing it. So that's framed it. Get a little grounding, a little normalcy.
What I love most about you
And there we go again. That is a game of the scene.
is that you're unpredictable.
Didn't expect to see it. Beautiful. Immediate tension.
Not enough, I guess.
Now you! Yeah! I love WeHo!
So what's WeHo like? I'm from out of town.
It's like this, exactly like this.
Everybody's super friendly here.
Nice.
Now you!
Okay.
That's crazy.
That was another communication moment. That was another eye contact. We're in the same space physically. We're laughing. I'm laughing. You're laughing. Go and show me you're laughing. Okay, we have the immediate contrast, immediate tension for Chanse. Big reaction to a big movement. Okay, that's a contrast from just how you expect someone to walk out from behind a barrier. We have the contrast of two totally different,
Come
like.
here often?
Courtney's done that twice now in this episode, like crazy big and just sedate kind of person.
Not enough, I guess.
A little bit of stakes, like this person cares about whether the other one comes here often or just like being involved in whatever it is that they're doing. The other person is interested in finding out or discussing the place that they're in. This takes a pivot
You! Yeah!
into reference, I think.
I love WeHo!
Yeah, okay. So this is reference comedy, but it's specifically for Chanse, his reference. Now, Chanse is a gay man. We're not all perfect. That's a joke. The number of times I've been on stage, like, okay, you have to know your audience. The number of times I've been on stage and made references to like queer culture that I think are funny, and then realized that this is just not the audience for that. Man, you have Chanse as our proxy here, so it doesn't actually matter if everyone watching in the audience is queer or understands what WeHo is. WeHo, West Hollywood, that's a gay district in Los Angeles. So Chanse immediately knows this is pointed at me, plus it's something that I recognize, it's reference comedy. I know that people go out there and dance like crazy, and it's descending already into parody because it's not just recognize the concept of WeHo, it is, isn't it ridiculous how wild and crazy everyone gets at WeHo? So that is all this very directed thing for him that is building up tension.
So what's WeHo like? I'm from out of town.
Now he asked a question. Ideally, you want to know things. You can still ask questions, but be adding information. I guess he added that he's from out of town, but he does it great on the next one round, which is about people are nice here.
Everybody's super friendly here.
Yeah, so that's adding information. But that was literally, Courtney is just in the space, like there's all of this stuff that has built up the tension. Courtney's in the space. To be fair, they don't make eye contact, it's more like crotch contact, I think. But it's enough. It's making the communication direct to Chanse. It's saying to Chanse, I'm turning to you, I'm talking to you, I'm dragging you in to communicate with me. That's why the eye contact wasn't necessary. Suddenly, the contrast from not being in the scene to being in the scene, and you're communicating with this person, and what you have to communicate is friendliness, safety, laughter. Bang! You're gonna laugh. And the last one.
Hey! Who likes short form improv?
Yeah, I've done a little in that.
It's the after hours show, so we may get a little naughty.
Uh-oh, poop! See, I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing.
Get out of here.
Oh my god. Yeah, what a place to end it on. It's a lampooning of short form improv. I love short form improv, okay? So, sue me. People that love it are gonna laugh the most. We have character information. Okay, he's had this idea to start with. Yeah, that's a kind of outfit and crazy wig that I might admit, it's not, it's not like, you don't actually see that realistically in the world, but it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, I can totally believe that that's a short form improv host. Like, it's just one of those, you know, like we don't know what mermaids actually look like, but we can picture it in our heads. And then strong character choice on Shayne's part as well. Before anything is even said.
Short form improv?
Yeah, I even just saw the hand there. We got the movement. So he has this grease. I'm loath to press pause because I know it's going to go straight into the noise that he makes. But we have this kind of greaser 1960s attitude. And so what's top of mind for how I'm going to respond to things is going to be through that framing. It's going to be like, hey, and ooh, and all that stuff. And doesn't it just line up perfectly that one question, who's into short form improv? What is a parodic idea of who that kind of person might be? A weirdo, a goofball, an idiot. It's perfect. It's great. It matches the characterization. It matches the concept. It's big and exaggerated and unexpected. So it's character comedy, it's exaggeration comedy, it's satire. And we get a second go of that game.
It's the after hours show, so we may get a little naughty.
Uh-oh, poop!
So again, we have that rhythm set up. We have like grounding. We have an unusual thing of like playing the character crazy thing, and then we reset and do it again. Beautiful. We got to see that twice, and I wasn't even expecting it at all. I wasn't sure what I was going to get from this video, but I actually feel like I got so much from it. What did you get? Leave a comment for me. Tell me what I should do next. If you want coaching, I'm based here in London. I can do in person. I can do online as well. Get in contact. We have channel memberships and hey, keep laughing!